Okay, choir. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother. Got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got the whole world in it. He's got tall and short people. He's got tall and short people in his hands. He's got tall and short people in his hands. He's got tall and short people in his hands. He's got the whole world in. He's got fat and skinny people. He's got fat and skinny people. Sing. In his hands, he's got fat and skinny people. In his hands, he's got fat and skinny people. In his hands, he's got the whole world. He's got rich and poor people. He's got rich and poor people. In his hands, he's got rich and poor people. In his hands, he's got rich and poor people. In his hands, he's got the whole world. He's got everybody here. He's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got the whole world. He's got the whole world. He's got the whole world. In his hands, 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 he's got the whole world in his hands. Give yourself a hand.
All right, so we want to welcome Yve, who is here on our fourth Sunday. So grateful she's here with her spiritual presence and essence and energy, and grateful for each of you being here today. Laughter's a good thing, right? So I want to welcome our people on live stream, but Bill Sodi, our board president, when we decided to do this yesterday, the seating arrangement, he said, let everybody know it's only a trial. If they don't like it, we'll change it back to the way it was. So that was 11:30 at night. I think I got that from Bill Sodi. Let them know it's a trial run on the seating. So we're going to give it a trial, but I love the energy and the feeling, just for a change, right? Just to change things up. And I'm laughing because this is the point. I welcome people online in person, and I looked up and the camera is really close. What are they seeing? My nose? I mean, I don't know what they're seeing. Whatever you're seeing, whatever camera you're watching on. And Bill said, oh, you're challenging tech today. You're going to put them through their paces. So I have no idea what you're seeing online, but we want you to know that we're feeling your energy, we're feeling your presence, and we're feeling your love. And what I'm knowing is that the love and the presence and the energy of this teaching of the center of our members, it goes out beyond the cameras. So I want to welcome you online, and we would love to see you in person someday. I know it's sometimes a little bit of a drive, but we do a full fellowship lunch afterwards. Today has chicken pot pie, corn on the cob. Other people are bringing things in, all kinds of stuff. It's always a good lunch, so stay for our fellowship lunch, and I'd love to chat with you if you're new and you haven't met me before. And I'd like to invite you to take a moment. I'm looking out at all these rows that aren't here. I have to look around. And so I'd like to take a moment to silence your cell phone. Because yes, Spirit does speak through technology. It does. But at this point, we'd like to let Spirit's authentic voice speak to us through the message today, through our presence today, through our music today, through all of the teams that make this possible. Our Kitchen Angels team, our tech team, our musical team. Who am I forgetting? Our welcome team, our ambassador team. So many teams. Our membership team and our passionate care team. So many teams make this dream come together. So many teams behind the scenes. So appreciative. So I invite us to read our vision statement together. I'm laughing. I guess that's a good thing. I took this clicker home last night. We had a class here, and I took it home, and I thought, Chuck's going to come in and go, where's the clicker? So I know it's going to work, right? So we're going to go to our vision statement, I think is where we're going. So can you advance that first slide to get us going? All right. Our vision statement is, and if you'll say that with me, if you'll read that with me together, so we'll more empower that. Our vision statement is a world that works for everyone. And then we'll go to and Chuck, can you advance that again? Awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And that's that spark within. We kind of touched on that in meditation. And it's that divine spark that speaks from the silence of our soul, that speaks from the love in our heart, and speaks in the way we live our life. So it's wonderful seeing everyone here today. If you'd like to join the circle, we can make room for you. So whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then we'll go ahead, and there we go. Third time is the charm. Third time is the charm, transforming lives one thought at a time. And I really want you to know this with me. I really, really want you to know this with me. Sometimes one thought at a time or one day at a time is way too big. Way too big. So we invite you at this center to bring it down to one thought at a time and one breath at a time. And one heartbeat at a time. And I assure you, and I will affirm for you and with you, that if you bring this down to the bite-sized bits of one heartbeat and one breath and one thought, everything will be taken care of, and you will feel that experience of your whole world being his and her and ours and yours and my hands. Our hands are very powerful tools of prayer. Our hands are very powerful tools of connection. Our hands are very powerful tools that help us touch into each other's hearts. And that's what we do at this center. With our breath and our thoughts and our heartbeats, we touch into, we feel into each other's souls and hearts and lives. And when we do, life becomes a joy worth living. And so, right now it's time to, Mr. Rogers says, howdy neighbor. And Mr. Rogers says, if you went to your mailbox, if you went to the post office, if you went to your gas station, if you went to your AM PM store to buy a candy bar today, and you just said hello, it would change the world. This teaching is not complicated. It is not complex. It's about being conscious to the love that you are, that you always have been, and you always will be. And that's what it is. So right now, with a namaste, a handshake, an elbow bump, or if you want to get up and give a hug, we'll take a minute. Say howdy to a neighbor. Say howdy to someone you haven't met before. So, howdy, neighbors. And so I now invite Yvonne Fowler to come up, and Yvonne will be doing our announcements. And I have printed them out in large type for Yvonne because Yvonne can't read the back monitor, and neither can I. So when I forget to print them out, the announcements are kind of hit and miss. So we're going to see how this goes. Here we go with August announcements. In case, you see, there's a backup plan. In case the clicker doesn't work, we got this covered.
Are you doing it?
I'm going to do them. There you go.
Bobby, they're beautiful. The flower ministry.
Those. Thank you, Bobby.
You know, you can have
And Bobby knows that if she doesn't come to pick them up and take them home, we auction them off to the highest bidder at lunch. So that's how you got to be here to get your flowers, or they're auctioned. They're long gone. So Bobby is always here always on Flower Sunday. Bobby is here.
If you like, because she doesn't buy the flowers every week, you can do that for any commemoration that you want. So just remember, it's around $40 for the bouquets, and they're either made by Ross here or Reverend Beverly, and they're always beautiful.
Those flowers come from my dead husband.
All right, Arvel. Those are in honor of Arvel.
Flowers, whether I want them or not. He sends them to me.
And Bobby shared a story when we started the flower ministry. Arvel, was it your birthday or anniversary? But isn't it the 24th day of every month that Arvel, for your whole relationship, Arvel bought your flowers every 24th day. So we get as close to the 24th. I think today's the 23rd. We're pretty close. We're pretty close. So that's why Bobby does on the 24th. Every day of her relationship, Arvel brought her flowers on the 24th. So that's what this is about. Honoring
Now,
her husband.
for the Science of Mind booklet, most of you do know about that, but we have a coffee clutch on the first and the third Sunday of every month, and we just take a page out of this book and we talk about it. And it's really interesting what we come up with and what people think about it. So please join us. It's a half an hour early, and that's all it is. So please come and join us. Well, look who's here.
Look who's joined us. Hey, we have Tracy and Art Carter, and Art Carter was the founding minister of this center 50 years ago in his living room with Yvonne. Yay, Art, yay. Let's stand and let's give him a standing ovation. Come on, let's stand. Come on. 50 years ago to honor Art. We're so glad you joined us today. And Tracy, thanks for working out the transportation. We're so glad you're here today. So glad you're here today. All right, and we are going on to
The movie, the metaphysical movie that's going to be Thursday, the second Thursday of the month.
Wednesday.
Second Wednesday of the month is Breaking Away. So we come have spaghetti dinner with us, and then join us for the movie, and then the discussion afterwards. It's really a lot of fun. And we've been doing it now for quite a few weeks, and we've also learned a lot about the movies we've seen forever and didn't really quite understand them, the metaphysical part.
And
So-
breaking away is about breaking away from the habits of our past and not being held hostage by our past, and that includes the hostage of things that didn't work in our family, the hostage of our history, the hostage of our culture, the hostage of our religious beliefs, anything that holds us hostage from that freedom of the truth who we are. That's what breaking away is about. It's breaking away into the freedom of who you truly are and moving beyond, and I like to say moving beyond, it's the dysfunction of our family that we see as dysfunction, and coming to see that dysfunction. My family wasn't dysfunctional, it was dynamic. And when you move from my dysfunctional family to my dynamic family, your life will change. And that's what breaking away is about. Okay.
The Good, the Good Grief Support Group is on Tuesdays from 1 to 2:30, and anybody that would like to come and just talk and maybe have something to talk about, or some grief of some sort that you like to work out, Reverend Dr. Michael Curcuru is our facilitator, and he'll be here to help you out. Well, More Than We Seem is a book study that has been on hiatus for a few weeks, and it's at my house, and Reverend Neil is there as facilitating it. So it starts again on the 12th. So if anybody wants to come and has not been there before, please tell me, and I'll just put you on the list so you can get into the gate. It's really an interesting class too. We're reading the questions that people have had for Jesse Jennings over the years, and his understanding of them, and then how we understand it too. So it's really very, very interesting. And then we do have another group that's getting together. It's called Doing the Thing and Walking the Talk, and Adrian is facilitating that. And Adrian is our practitioner, and what it is, it's for a journey through the practice of science of mind. Bring your questions, gain answers, and learn the practice that will move you forward on your path. So please, that's at 5 o'clock, and it's on Tuesdays. So please come to that too and see what it's about. And we have
There we go.
PF Flag. This is a group of people that we started with just 1 month ago.
Yes, a month ago, we had 17 people at our first meeting last month.
Tell them about what it is.
All right, PFLAG stands for Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. And this meeting is about becoming an ally. What's an ally look like? What does it mean to be an ally? How do you handle if your child or your grandson or your neighbor comes up and says, I want to share something with you and you're a safe space to share it with, and I'm lesbian, I'm gay, I'm transgender. How do you respond to that in a loving way? How do you find your way to saying, I love you just the way you are, rather than reacting with, I'm not so sure about that? And so it's moving from, I'm not so sure about that, to I see you, I love you, and I hear you. And we have a really special guest. And this happened the other day. I had an idea. I didn't want to do this on my own. We had a guest speaker last month. And so I invited Reverend Victoria Bomberry, who has been the head of our diversity, equity, and inclusion at the head level of CSL. And she'll be our guest speaker, and we'll be talking about how to become an ally, what being an ally means, and how do you respond when someone says to you, I want to share something with you? And how are you ready to say, I see you, I hear you, and I love you, to the best of your ability? So join us Wednesday in person. It's also online, 7 to 8:15.
And then we have a real special treat for all of us on Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going to have Kelly Tamara.
Tamaya, yes.
Tamaya. She is the harpist that's played with us before, and she is absolutely wonderful. And she's going to do a concert after our lunch on that day. So please stay for that. It's a love offering, and it's just going to be beautiful because harp music is so beautiful.
It'll be an afternoon of harp moves, just 45 minutes after lunch, and we're starting something new. We're calling them casual concerts. We're not promoting them, we're not pushing them, just come on after lunch, sit and listen to 45 minutes of harp music. And it's a love offering. Your presence is an offering, but to support Kelly in doing this, she would appreciate a love offering. So a simple love offering would be great. Don't miss an afternoon of harp after lunch. So come join Kelly.
And then, you all know El Yankee. Well, El Yankee is a local musician, but he's got a lot of talent, and he's bringing with a lot of the groups over the years. And so he's going to bring all that to us in a jazz concert. And there's 4 other musicians with them, and they all work in the area, either in Palm Springs or up in Big Bear. And they're all going to sit here and join us and give us an afternoon of jazz. And that's going to be on Saturday, the 26th, from 2 to 3:15. Now, we really want it to be a big deal because we had him last year and it was wonderful. So we want to open it up to the community and have you bring everybody to join us, and they'll love it. And it's so great to support a local musician. So please get a table if you can, 8 at a table, and bring in people. Let's fill this place for El Yankee, all right? That's on Saturday, September 26th.
And it is a fundraiser for the center as well. So we'll be receiving some proceeds from that as well. So it is a fundraiser for the center, and it's a great afternoon.
We have an Om room, and that's right behind us here, and we do prayer treatment. We used to do it right here in the sanctuary, but it was too loud and too noisy, and we couldn't get it personal. So we moved into there, and we're doing it different now. We're doing it in a group. If you need a separate prayer, you're welcome to ask either Reverend Michael or any of the practitioners and myself for that. But otherwise, this group prayer has really been well received for the people that come. So it's just for a few minutes right after the service.
Yes. All right.
Hearing aids. Now, I have mine in, so I don't need these. However, their hearing assistant receivers are in the back of the room. So if you've been having trouble hearing, just tell us and we can go back there and get one of the devices so everybody can hear the great message. Okay? And then the food. The food. We're going to have, again, our community potluck, and I think today is chicken pot pie
and corn on the
corn
cob and lots of stuff.
And lots of other stuff. So please stay for that. And now,
We will have Yve take us into our second song.
There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and loved ones, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and friends that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more, though I know I'll never lose affection, no, for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more.
Beautiful. And so
Yve,
now,
that was beautiful. I love your rendition.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much for being with us.
and so,
I didn't have a choice.
Spirit called and you answered.
That's right.
Beautiful. And Yvonne, before we go into the invocation, can you feel that energy here right now? The shift? Music, message, meditation, meal? Feel the shift? Let's just stay here for the next 30 minutes in this energy. It's really nice. So what I'm going to invite into this energy is I'm going to invite Jaquil Roby and Cameron Pierce to come up and stand on either side of the podium. And we have kind of a special ceremony right now today. And we are going to induct 2 new members. So Cameron and Jaquil, if you'll join me at the podium. And it's always an honor when people come to the center 1 or 2 times, and then we see them a 3rd time. And here's how it works around here. Here's how it works. If you come to the center the first time, and if I can get you to stay for lunch and to meet this community, you're going to be back a 2nd time. And if I can get you to stay a 2nd time for lunch, we got you. We got you. And everybody knows, I don't care if it's because of the food or the message, or if it's both, that's really good. But if it's the food, you're welcome to come. We're just glad to see you. So Jacqueline came and said she liked the message, and so I'm going to invite Cameron to join us when he has a minute, and I'll begin reading our kind of our installment ceremony to welcome 2 new members today. And our shared vision and philosophy at Centers for Spiritual Living is that we hold a vision of a world that works for everyone, a world where peace, abundance, and love are not just ideals, but to the best of our ability, they're lived realities, right? To the best we can, to the best we can. We teach and practice the science of mind philosophy, a spiritual framework that recognizes the divine in all people. It's in there. And if you don't see it, we'll see it for you. And if we don't see it in ourselves, we invite you to see it for us. That divine spark is in there. It's in all people, everywhere. It honors the creative power of our thoughts and celebrates the unity of all life. That's why we're in a circle today. Because we had a little new members class here yesterday, and some people were kind of chatting at lunch, and I'd had an inkling of an idea 3 months ago that I would like to do sort of sermon in the round or church in the round. And so Jacqueline said, well, if not now, when? If not now, when? And Yvonne said, let's try that. And so Ross and Jacqueline and Yvonne and Bill Sodi and a lot of people came together and moved the chairs. And I'm really loving the feeling. So we're trying it. We're going to see how it goes. I love the feeling. I just love the feeling. So thank you for supporting my yes with a, if not now, when? That's our teaching. And so the heart of our community is not built on buildings or programs alone. It's built on relationships. It is built on the love we share, the compassion we extend, and all the ways we show up for one another. Yes? We invite new members right now, and if Cameron, if you can come down, if you're stuck in tech, I understand that. We don't want to lose the live stream, but if you can come down and join me, we'll invite you as a new member to come forward. And we invite you to feel at home here and make it your spiritual home. We invite you to make it a sanctuary for your soul and a community that will walk beside you in love always. May you know, and Cameron is in the tech booth, and we don't want the tech to go down, so we're going to do this distance. Cameron's in the tech booth, and Jacqueline is right here. May you know that you are seen, and you are valued, and you are loved, exactly as you are. May your time here be filled with moments of deep connection, joyful service, and spiritual awakening. And beloved friends, today we gather for a sacred purpose, and that's to welcome our new members, Cameron and Jacqueline, into our spiritual family here at the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. Each of our new members has traveled their own path to arrive here. They traveled their own path, and they found themselves here. Spirit has guided each of us here today. You thought it was because it was 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, didn't you? It wasn't. This was a divine call for you to come to the center, to be present here today. And so, as these new members step forward, I want you to know that you're stepping into a circle of love. How appropriate, yes? How appropriate, a circle of love. How appropriate. And we want you to know that we will encourage you and celebrate you in becoming the best you can possibly be. And that best you is the you that you want to be and you deserve to be. And so I ask the members, the new members, to respond. I will ask this question and then I ask you to respond. I do. Do you commit to walking your spiritual path with openness, curiosity, and love?
I do.
All right. Do you commit to practicing the principles of science and mind to the best of your ability, knowing that you are a unique and perfect expression of the divine?
I do.
2 out of 2, that's pretty good. Do you commit to being an active, loving presence in this community, sharing your gifts and your talents, and receiving the gifts of others' gifts and talents? All right. And beloved community, this is an answer where we go, we do. So, beloved community, do you commit to welcoming these new members with open hearts, to supporting them in their spiritual growth, and to walking beside them in love and compassion? We do. And so completes our induction ceremony. We are so blessed to have you at the center. We are so blessed. You are so welcome. All right, Cameron's getting a hug from Chuck, so he got a welcoming hug. So welcome, really. We're just honored that you are stepping into a new adventure at the center. And now I'll invite Yvonne up, and Yvonne will do our invocation for today.
I'll just come together. Close your eyes if you will. Let's be silent. Be silent and know that we are in our sanctuary. We are in our Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont home. And we're with our family. And we know that there's only one God. And we know God is everywhere present. Through and in and if everything. And I can sense His presence just in this sanctuary today. I guess it's the energy. And as we sense that and know that we are part of the oneness, we know that God is all there is, and that's what our life is all about. As we listen to the music, we know that Yve gives us the words, the sounds that make this special. And we know that our media make the words flow smoothly across the internet. And we know that what Reverend Michael has to say today will definitely be what we need to hear, and that we can share that information as we go along the rest of the week. And I know this, and I love it, and so it is.
There it is. Thank you, Yvonne. So I want to thank everyone for the willingness to not sit in your normal seat, to not sit in your normal row, to not sit in your normal position, and the willingness to try something different. I think that's an invitation from Science of Mind and from Ernest Holmes. Are we willing? Are we willing? And to notice the uncomfortability that I can't hide behind the podium as much as I do when it's up there. It is much safer up there. It is much safer up there. And it is probably much safer for all of you in rows, right? But as I was driving here today, this isn't in the talk, but it's kind of that awareness of presence that makes life delicious. So yesterday, this all came about. I had an inkling, and then it went from an inkling to an invitation by Janae to let's make this happen. But I want to share you this. I said, to the best of our ability, I'd like a circle. And I said, but this is a rectangular room, yes? And so the likelihood that this would become an oval, this would most likely become an oval because of the dictates of the size of the room. And Janae said, no, you want a circle. And so she paced off this way and that way and paced. And then we got a tape measure. And so, oh no, this chair is 9 steps away, and this one's 8 steps away, and they all have to be 8.5, whatever. And she spent time bringing them all into perfect alignment to a near perfect circle. And so I was driving here today, and I thought, isn't that interesting? How when you're willing to try something new, Spirit shows you something new. And I was driving here.
Yes.
There's a place
Yes.
where you become so present with Spirit. It speaks to you every single day. in so many ways. And I talked in meditation about being present to the silence of your soul so you can hear the love in your heart and you can walk in that love and truth in your life. And this came to me. And I said to Janae, oh my God, a perfectionist, you are going to have a really hard life. I know that one. And I said, sometimes good is good enough, but sometimes good isn't good enough. Sometimes you have to go be good into the great and making a perfect circle. And I thought, what a message. I thought this room, the dictates of this room, would dictate the shape of the circle. It did not. I was driving here and I thought, how do we allow the dictates of the limitations of our mind to limit our lives? How many of us allow the size of our religious beliefs to limit the size of our spiritual freedom? And how many of us in our lives allow somebody's borders and bindings and boundaries to limit us from the bounty and the beauty and the blessing of this teaching? How many? And I thought, this teaching moves us beyond boundaries and binderies into blessings and bounties. What a lesson from a perfectionist. You can make your life any size and shape and color you want. Don't let anyone ever get in the way of your energy, get in the way of your beliefs, and get in the way of living your life exactly as you want to live it. So I walked outside this morning and I saw my neighbor taking care of her cat. I'm a dog person, by the way. I love cats. Mom had a cat, and cat and dog slept together. They got along great. Both of them a dog person. And I could tell that she was talking to her cat. How many cat people talk to their cats? But what got, yeah, we have a cat person in the background. But what concerned me was I could tell that she thought the cat was talking back. And I'm like, okay. And so, can you imagine thinking that your cat understands you? Can you imagine? And so I ran back inside my house and I told my dog about it, and we laughed and we laughed and we laughed. So today's talk is not about talking to the animals. It's not about it's about walking as one with heaven's presence is so on earth. Right? How do we do that? Thomas More, in The Reenchantment of Everyday Life, isn't that a beautiful title? The Reenchantment of Everyday Life. Whoa! Thomas More is just marvelous. He's marvelous, and he says this. See how this might apply to your life, or not. He says, to live without feeling magic or enchantment in external things is to tumble into a long-term loss of soul. And we all do that far too much in modern life. Yes? Yes? And so, in honoring the oneness of unity, which is our teaching, which is this community, to honor their oneness with heaven as so on earth, many species of birds, and I only knew this because my middle brother observed this when he was 7 or 8, and he told me, he said, do you know how many species of birds stand on one leg? Have you ever, 80% of birds stand on one leg. And I thought, what a spiritual message. My brother saw this, and my parents went, they didn't know, we looked it up. 80% of birds stand on one leg. We have doves nesting in our patio, and they stand on one leg. We have doves. Mama sitting on the eggs. So exciting. What a gift. What a gift. And the reason that birds and animals that do this stand on one leg is to keep one leg. How do we stay connected to our soul? Keep one leg on the ground and lift. Everyone want to try this? Don't try this. And lift one leg up, reaching toward heaven. So we stay grounded with one leg down. We lift one leg. We're off to heaven. And they're not the only ones. Native American dance. Many Native American dances are done with one leg up and then down, and they're always connected to the ground. They stay grounded to the ground they're on. And in this teaching, we would say that's the groundedness of your being. In this teaching, we would say that's the groundedness of knowing that the ground you are walking on is holy ground because you're walking on it. Probably holy ground before you walked on it, but surely holy ground because you're walking on it. That's his teaching. That's how we stay grounded in our soul and we don't lose our soul connection. That's how we stay in touch with our feelings and our emotions and our vibration and our aliveness. And so how do we, in a world that's spinning at times so far away from love, how do we ground ourselves in the high resolve, in that high consciousness, in that high awareness that love is who we are and love is what we came here to be? How do we ground ourselves in that? How do we be that? And perhaps we do so by coming to the place where the two rivers meet. This is in Buddhism. I talk about the place where the two rivers meet. And the place where the two rivers meet brings us to the promise we came here to be. And at the place where the two rivers meet, we come to remember, to renew, and to reimagine the possible. And so what are the two rivers we're talking about? It's in spirituality, it's in Buddhism, it's a part of the Four Noble Agreements. What are the two rivers we talk about in spirituality? What are the two rivers in Science of Mind? One is the river, and I will go to this because I did not remember this from ministerial studies, but the first river that we come to is Lethe. It's the river of Lethe, L-E-T-H-E, and Lethe means forget. The first river we come to is the river of forget. And so if the first river we come to is the river of forget, what's the second river we come to? The second river, and this is Greek philosophy way back to Plato, know thyself, is the river of mnemosyne. Mnemosyne. And mnemosyne means remembrance. So the two rivers in spiritual teachings, the two rivers in spiritual consciousness, the two rivers that offer us the opportunity to both to forget and to remember. And when we come together in forgetting and remembering at the same time, we come to know who we are. And that's the gift of this teaching. And what does the river of forget offer to us? What's its gift? The gift of forgetfulness is the belief in separation, is the belief in limitation, is the belief in fear or unworthiness, a separation, a duality, a division between heaven and earth. That's the river of forgetfulness. But what opportunity does our forgetting bring to us? It brings us the opportunity of opening to the oneness of remembering. How could we remember until we forget? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful when you're really lost, you're really found? Isn't that really wonderful? You're so lost and you're so scared and you're in such darkness. And isn't that wonderful because your scaredness becomes your sacredness and your darkness becomes your light and your fear becomes your love? Isn't that wonderful? In our lostness we are found. In our fears we find faith. And so remembrance is the awakening and the affirming. And this is our affirmation today. The river of remembrance is remembering that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is our life now. And I invite you to read that affirmation with me. I assure you, that got me through my second ministerial panel. I did a really fancy one. For the first ministerial panel, I didn't pass. I think it was so fancy they couldn't hear spirit. And so you go to this as your go-to. You go to ministerial, go to that, you'll pass. So this is what it was a real cop-out, but it worked. So I invite you to read this with me. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. The river of forgetfulness is any thought, belief, or experience that convinces us we are separate from God, separate from one another, or separate from our own divine possibility. And the river of remembrance is the spiritual practice that calls us home. It reminds us that there is one life, one source, one love, one power, one goodness, one presence. And when we drink from the river of remembrance, we remember, I am not lost, I am not alone, I am not outside the divine, I'm an expression of the one. And so it is. So the place where the two rivers meet is the place where we remember to renew and reimagine the promise we came here to be. The river of forget we must cross in order to enter the river of remembrance of who we are. And as we enter that river of remembrance of who we are, we remember who we are, we renew our covenant with Spirit, and we reimagine our lives from the truth that we were never separate to begin with. God never separated his love from us, and he never she never separates the promise we came here to be. So I ask you this question: what is the promise you came here to be? And I'm not talking the promise of having a good lunch, that's okay. But what is the promise you came here to be on earth to be? Why are you here? Why? Why? So sometimes the place where two rivers meet is the place of two cultures coming together as one. And that's the story of the Council of Pecans. Who knows the story of the Council of Pecans? Before I go into that story, I love that story. I will share a story of pecans. I never made a pecan pie. It was Thanksgiving dinner. I was having friends over, 1982, 83. Having friends over. I love pecan pie. I never made a pecan pie. And I had an aunt who lived in Georgia, great pecans, and she heard I was making a pecan pie, and she said, I've got to send you pecans. I said, well, I'm making the pecan pie tomorrow night. She spent like $38 40 years ago on postage to get me 2 pounds of pecans so I could make a pecan pie with pecans from the South, because she said, if you don't begin with the best ingredients, you're not going to end up with the best quality pie. And so they were unshucked. So friends and I sat on our kitchen floor with hammers and banging and shucking these pecans. I made a pecan pie. I made the homemade dough with the little holes in it, but it came out great and everybody ate it. And so the story of my pecan story is one of my aunt hearing that I was going to make a pecan pie and going out of her way to send pecans. Where have you gone out of your way to make somebody's pie perfect and whole? Where? We all have. We all have. What's the story of your pecan pie? But that was 40 years ago, and I still remember my Aunt Penny doing that. And I think the gift of that story for me was how loved I was, that someone would do that simple thing for me. And I still feel her love today. You know, love goes on for miles and miles and miles. Keep it going. And so the Council of Pecans is a wonderful story about all is one. It's a story that took place in the Dust Bowl and the Depression era, when there famine and hunger were abounding in the middle part of this country. Food was a very scarce commodity, and hunger was a very big presence. And so a set of boys went out to go fishing in the river with their fishing poles, young boys, to catch some fish for the family dinner, because that's the only thing they were going to have. And they spent the whole day and they caught nothing. And on the way home, they stumbled upon a pecan orchard. And it was the time of the pecans coming to full bloom, and the pecans were just falling off the trees onto the ground, just ankle deep pecans. And they stopped and they filled themselves in their hunger, and they just ate pecans, and they filled their satchels to take pecans home for dinner that night to their family. And it took me to a story of my dad. He told this all his life. During the Depression, there was an olive orchard at the end of the street, and he and his brothers, there were times he and his brothers were sent to the olive orchard to pick olives off the tree, and that's what they had for dinner. So it kind of takes me to where my dad came from, where we've all been at some point in some way. And so they stuff their satchels and they go home. And just as they're ready to leave, it's on Indian ground. It took place in Wyoming on Indian territory. And an Indian boy comes up and says, "You are so welcome to our bounty of pecans because the universe supplies us. And you are so welcome to our bounty of pecans. But I want to share a story with you to take with you." And the Indian boy tells how the pecan trees teach mutual flourishing. How they teach mutual flourishing. Pecan trees, one pecan tree will not flourish. It needs to be in an orchard. They need to feed and seed each other. One tree will not flourish. They need to be in an orchard and they flourish each other. They do not fruit alone. Yet when one tree produces, the whole grove produces. And there's a bounty for everyone. And the wisdom he shared is simple and sacred, that abundance is communal. We survive, and we heal, and we thrive together, or we do not truly thrive at all. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it's always been, and it's just the way it always will be, like it or not. So for us, the Council of Pecans invites us to remember we belong to one another. The Council of Pecans invites us to renew our commitment to shared care and to reimagine abundance as something we create together, like it or not. Ernest Holmes shares this. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is beautiful beyond the words, and that's his teaching. This teaching is so beautiful beyond the words. Don't let the words get in the way. They're good, but don't let them get in the way. Ernest Holmes shares this about that communal blossoming. Learn to be at home in the universe. See God in everyone. No more loneliness. No more separation in the allness, in the mystery. Our next story is the story of the secret garden. I don't know how many of you have been to Canada and been to Bouchard Gardens. How many people have visited Bouchard Gardens? Beyond words. Beyond words. To walk in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles. Take a walk in nature today. Hit the rose garden. Hit the rose garden, and then hit another garden, and go to a park. Walk in nature today. Walk in nature today. The secret story of Bouchard Gardens, and I call it the garden in the quarry. And if to walk in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles, I'd be happy with one, but if I see 1,000, I'll take it. I'll let you know. That Bouchard Gardens gives us one of the clearest sermons nature can preach. In 1904, on the eastern shore of Vancouver Island, Robert Bouchard's cement works had taken everything a hillside could give. The limestone was gone, and what remained was a dark, dark, empty, water-filled pit. 100 feet deep, walls shared bare, floor gray with dust and standing water. It looked empty, it looked used up, and it was beyond the beauty that Spirit had intended it to be. But Jenny Bouchard, women's power, right? Stepping into her own power, empowerment, saw with different kind of vision. That's what we're talking about today. See with a different vision, and you'll see a different world. She saw with a different kind of vision. She went down into that abandoned quarry and refused to let the story end with depletion that her husband had written with his harvesting for money everything that was in that quarry and leaving nothing behind. And yet cartload by cartload, she brought in soil. Bit by bit, she planted life where there had only been stone and where the walls were too steep to climb. She had herself lowered over the edge in a boatswain's chair and tucked ivy into the cracks by hand. That is the movement of the soul, to remember that even what appears barren still belongs to life. to renew the ground with patience and faith and love, and to reimagine the possible until the place of loss becomes a garden of wonder. Until the place of your loss becomes a garden of your wonder. Today, that old quarry is the sunken garden, and people descend into it not to mourn what was taken, but to stand in awe of what was restored. There is no loss so deep that it can't be repaired by the depth of love in your soul, by the light of love in your heart, by the way you walk in love in this life. Like it or not, that's the way it is. So when we remember, when we renew, and when we reimagine, we are doing what Jenny did, bringing soil to the empty places and trusting that Spirit can still call them garden. One life, one person, one possibility that beautified the world. What's your one thought? We have many possibilities, but one possibility. How are you going to walk in life today that beautifies this planet? That makes it more beautiful than when you came? What are you going to pass on? You'll never know how many parts of you are living on in other people. The encouragement you gave, the kindness you showed. I'm going to read it here. The kindness you showed, the confidence you helped build, we leave pieces ourselves behind more often than we realize. And so, we're starting a legacy program at CSL Beaumont. We were in Sedona. It is a place of renewal and reimagining and replenishment. And Spirit dropped in, and it's dropping in all the time, every time, always. And I said to Ross, this just dropped in, and this is not me, this is Spirit. And I said, it's 100-year anniversary of Centers for Spiritual Living this year. 100 years. 100 years. We're still here. We're small, but we're still here. We're small, but we have really big hearts. And I said to Ross, and I did not get the feedback I wanted. I think he was eating. What was the cheesecake? We had some incredible cheesecake. What was it? Oh my God. What was it? Key lime pie cheesecake. It beautified the world. That piece of cheesecake beautified my world. And I said, it's a 100-year anniversary. And let's remember and reimagine this teaching in our own way. And so, we'll go to this affirmation in a minute, but Ross and his community, I'm inviting us to honor the 100-year anniversary of Ernest Holmes by making 2027 at CSLB the year of 100 roses. The year of 100 roses. 11 months ago, there were 21 roses in the rose garden. Today, there are 60. 2027 is the year of 100 roses at CSL Beaumont. Can you imagine? Can you renew? Can you refresh in your mind the possibility, as Mrs. Bouchard did, of bringing beauty to the world on the corner of Maple and 8th? The year of 100 roses. Are you willing? Are you willing to see the vision? Are you willing to bring it forth? Are you willing to live it? Are you willing to share the beauty within this room today with the world without? So we'll be unfolding that program, but nothing's ever felt so right. 2027, honoring Ernest Holmes, the year of 100 roses. Yvonne is going to buy a rose. She put her gone to the highest bidder.
You better tell him it's not a memorial because 40 of us don't want to die.
That's a very good point. You do not have to die to get into the rose garden. You can celebrate yourself. You can celebrate a sunrise. You can celebrate key lime cheesecake. You can celebrate anything you choose to celebrate. But I invite the community to Find a way to make this happen. Hold it in consciousness and know that we will have 100 roses in that rose garden in 2027. The community will notice, the world will notice, but mostly, as we expand that rose garden, the love in our heart is going to expand into the world. Like it or not, that's the way it is. And so ends our talk, and so begins our work at Yve.
I had something different picked out, but you know how Spirit is. It just kind of, and I always have on my Spirit ear, so this is what I've got. And it's about remember, renew, and reimagine. Perfect. I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs. I've made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching. Now we're alone, and I am singing my song for you. I know your image of me is what I hope to be. Sometimes I've treated you unkindly, I confess. Can't you see? There's no one more important to me. Can't you see right through me? Now we're alone and I'm singing my song for you. You've taught me precious secrets of the truth, withholding nothing. Came out in front when I was hiding. Now I'm so much better. And if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. In a place where there's no space or time. That's the present. I love you for my life, 'cause you're all friends of mine. And when my little life is over, remember that we were together. We were alone, and I was singing my song for you. We were alone, and I was singing my song. Singing my song. I was singing my song for you.
Thank you.
That felt right.
It felt very right. And that's the way it is, like it or not.
Like it or not.
So I invite our ushers to come forth and know that the gift really is the gift of your presence. Your gift of your willingness to listen to that silence in your soul, be present with that love in your heart, and to bring that forth in your life. That's the gift. And we also honor your financial gifts, but I know a lot of you auto-tithe, and so if you just want to, as the basket comes around, if you just want to circulate your energy by circulating your hand, that circulates your energy at the center. And so we bless this offering, we bless this gift. We know that the center is abundantly provided, abundantly sourced, and the stewardship of this center and the financial stewardship and the board of trustees and all of our teams and all of our members and all of our community, that this will go to the highest and best good and the highest and best purpose for serving spirit as one with heaven on earth. And together we say, and so it is. And so if you're new to this center, we circle up and do a song. Yve will guide us in our circle up song. And we stand up if we can and hold hands, circle up in a circle and sing our way out. If you would like to remain seated and just join us in consciousness, whatever you're comfortable doing. But it's time for our circle up song. Oh, have we not gotten all the way around? Oh, we haven't gotten all, well, I get a note from the board of directors. I actually, as a ministerial student, gave a talk at a center. Great talk. I completely skipped the offering. I did get invited back, but the second time they said, you will do the offering this time.
I'm confessing that I love you over again. I'm confessing that I love you over again.
All right. Now we will stand up and circle up, and Yve will lead us in a song. And if you want to remain seated and join us in consciousness, that's fine. So let's close that circle. We'll do this. We'll close that circle. How are we closing the circle? This is not a circle. This is our there you go. There you go. Zine, we're doing our best on the circle, but we're not quite there.
Ready, choir? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with smile. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be.
Together that something wonderful happened at CSL Beaumont today, and that something wonderful is coming together in a circle of coming together in the unity of community and coming together with our heart as one with each of our hearts, as one with a heart of spirit, by whatever name you choose to call it. God, energy, essence, Muhammad, my heart, your heart, spirit's heart, one heart. That's the message we take out into the world today. We have prayer in the Om Room. We have a full lunch in Carter Hall. Stay for lunch. Join us. Join me for prayer if you so desire. All right. Be well. Thank you, everyone, for being here.